This is Lansdowne Roar, the voice of the fans, and this is the League of Ireland review show, match day 7. Conor, how are you doing? Are you well? We've been away. We're now back. I've even splashed out on...
Have you moved somewhere else? Have you got a new flat, or what's going on here? I don't think people are going to impress with you now, Mr. Dunn. What's going on here?
Well, I'm keeping it very Irish, Conor. As you can see, we've got Bono. We've got you two. And we have a drawing of Lansdowne Road. And actually, behind me, you can see in the distance, you've got Clive Tilsley gave this to me, genuinely. And it's the score sheet, that the score, the commentator chart from USA 94. It's not the original, of course. Well, maybe it is.
Might be, you never know.
Yeah, Clive Tilsley gave me that. So yeah, sorry. I'm doing a little bit of refurbishment in the flat here in London. So this is the sexy stuff you don't normally see. So it's an anomaly. So apologies for the appearance, folks.
You're Irish.
What do you mean? I've got Bono. Doesn't say any more Irish than that, you bastard. Anyway. So here we are. Sorry we missed a week. We missed. Well, I suppose we were on the Mitch a bit, weren't we? Do you say that in Monaghan?
Yeah, Mitch in school. Someone did don't go to class. The Mitch in the class.
Yeah. For if you're watching Martin, truant. That's what you call it over here, playing truant or whatever. But yeah, so we were kind of missing for a week. Apologies for that, folks. But we were sort of somewhere over in Plovdiv. So, some of us have to travel to the games. Not right, Conor?
Why are you acting like I wasn't there? Why are you acting like I'm Martin?
No, I'm sharing a joke with you. You're supposed to be in on the joke. It's a wink, wink.
So sorry.
Christ. But anyway, before we get started, folks, don't forget to subscribe to the page. And hit that subscribe button. Right now. Or we're not going anywhere. All right, you win.
What do you mean we're not going anywhere? We weren't going anywhere anyway.
Exactly. Make sure you're not watching this stream illegally or this podcast illegally. So become one of the... Where were we? We were not subscribed 41%. Conor, where do you think in your estimations that is now? About 37.5% now, is it?
No, it's still 38, 39. It's still quite a high number, and I'm not happy with it.
No,
I'm not happy at all.
Happy.
I'm not happy. It's starting to really frustrate me. It's starting to make me turn into a volatile man. I know someone who gets volatile, but no.
I know what you mean. You do not want a man with his accent angry at you. I'm just saying, right? So make sure you subscribe to the page. We're trying to get to where are we at now? Right now, okay. We're going to expose ourselves a little bit. You are not in a bad way. I want to get to 2100 by the end of it. By the time you watch this, I want this to be 2100. How can we make that happen, Conor?
Jeez, I hope so.
Yeah, so 2100. Don't be one of these. Don't be one of the unsubscribed lot. Be subscribed. Yeah, so just hit that subscribe button. And also you can head over to Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account and give Conor a follow over at Rep Tracker. And if you want an audio version of this podcast, you can obviously go wherever you get your podcast from. But you can also head over to lansdowneroar.ie. That is lansdowneroar.ie. We can also get loads of articles, actually even match reviews and stuff of the like of the League of Ireland and loads of other bits and pieces. So it's absolutely fantastic. And make sure you head over there. Right. Conor, are you ready for a bit of League of Ireland?
Yep, work away.
Right. So going to read out the results from the last match day, which is match day 7, and then we're going to have a little talk about them. So here we go. You're right there now, yeah? You're messing with the microphone.
I'm all good.
Jesus Christ, you're rusty, man. What's going on? I'm supposed to be professional. Top result there. More misery for Bohemians. They lost 2-0 at home to Galway United. Cork City drew 1-1 with Drogheda United. Sligo Rovers, the old bit of red, capitulated in the dying minutes. Actually, I'm getting mixed up with the other 2-1. But Sligo Rovers lost 2-1 to Shelburne. They were very unlucky, actually, in that game, Sligo Rovers, towards the end. Waterford at home, they capitulated, against St. Pat's. Pat's coming back late on into the game. And of course, Shamrock Rovers and Derry City playing out a bit of an ill-tempered 0-0 draw at the Tallaght Stadium. So, Conor, we're going to go with the first one here, and of course, Bohemians losing 2-0 at home. That obviously Reynolds, the manager, yeah, he
He's on his
can't really
last
be.
legs.
He has to be, doesn't he?
You'd think so. With the money Bohs, it's not just that they're a team that's struggling. Like Sligo are struggling at the moment, but Sligo haven't been investing huge money into the squad like Bohs have done over the last 18 months or so. So if you're a Bohs fan, you'd be very, very disappointed with what's going on at the moment. Like when you look at that team that beat Rovers, Shamrock Rovers, on the opening day or the opening weekend at the Aviva, you would say a lot of people are saying that's the strongest Bohs team that we've seen in 4 or 5 years since they went on that run in Europe. When Dawson Levoy was originally at the club, but it just has they haven't kicked on since. You thought that day at the Viva that was the start of Bohs being the probably you'd say the unsung heroes of the season and start catching people by surprise. But it seems to be catching people by surprise in a negative way. They just keep performing poorly or
Mm.
losing matches or not scoring when it's needed. Obviously, they had the big moment of Colin Whelan scoring that hat trick in the RSC, but like there's not been much more to sing about since. Like Lise Mousset still hasn't got his first goal as a Bows player. Well, obviously he did in pre-season, but in terms of his League of Ireland, like, but no, it's a very, very strange situation they're going through right now. Like, but the longer this is dragging out with Reynolds not getting sacked, the more I think they just want to keep hold of him and back him until probably there's no going back. But they seem to be behind him anyway at the club wise, and they want to keep him in charge. So I don't think he's going to get sacked. I thought if he was going to get sacked, maybe Saturday morning we would have heard something. But no, it's interesting that it seems that they're going to stick by him at the moment anyway. For now.
Yeah, and of course Moses Dyer with two with a brace there, screamer on for a second one there,
Goal of
fantastic
the
goal.
season so far, do you think?
Yeah, it was beautiful, wasn't it? It reminded me,
It's
it kind of
just
reminded me of Fernando Torres against Blackburn Rovers back about 2008.
it was like your boy, oh, what's his name? He scored the goal for Crystal Palace. Oh, the Crystal Palace volley. He scored a goal for Crystal Palace, and it was was it? Oh, what's his name? He was a bally fella. But anyway, it was. I don't know if that's
Johnson,
goal of the season so far.
Andy Johnson.
No. He wasn't. He was like Kariemi.
Anyway,
Uh,
but
no, anyway, but it reminded me of Kasami. That's who it was. Kasami scored that goal. If you'll know when you Google it later, Dave, just a bit of football knowledge because you don't seem to have much these days. But I don't know if that is as good as Aidan Keane is on the opening day. Was it opening day? He scored that goal, that volley against Galway.
I think it was, yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Mm.
I don't know if it was good as that. Even though that didn't win goal of the month, somehow it didn't win goal of the month in the League of Ireland. I don't know who voted not for him not to win goal of the month last month, but no, there's been some absolute worldies scored in the League of Ireland so far this season. But I guess that's what you get with the greatest league in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I was just watching, like, they were kind of done by two long balls. Both. I mean, that was a great goal, the second one, but like it was just two punts over the top. Like you can't seem to defend them, and it's very worrying. It seems like
The
just
football they
bait
don't play isn't that bad. It's just they can't. It's either sloppy
defend.
mistakes at the back or they just can't score in front of goal. It seems to be one or the other. Like that Drogheda game, they absolutely dominated Drogheda, but Drogheda took their chances and they didn't.
Yeah, and speaking of Drogheda, of course, that's the next game. Cork 1-1 draw at home to Drogheda. Um, didn't I mean, Rory Keane with a penalty in the 33rd minute, and of course Warren Davis with the equaliser. Lovely finish actually in the 62nd minute. There was a goal for Drogheda chalked off as well. So they'll be disappointed to drop the 2 points, even though it was away from home.
Go on ahead.
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
It's an open.
I thought you were going to say so. Add something. No, but
Conor on fire here, folks.
I was waiting to see us. I was like, oh, Dave's going to have a wee rant here about
No,
the
no, I'm not
referee
going around.
decision.
Oh, what, for having the goal chalked off, the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
What was
really
it about?
They said because it said Warren Davis was in the box, but because it's technically if your foot's on the line. Actually seen a referee on TikTok examine the moment because it was such a talking point, and he said because if your foot's on the line and the rule book says that it should be disallowed, but like, come on, how are you because his foot is on the line? Obviously, whatever like no one seen it at the time.
They're
Cork
the
wouldn't
rules,
have
Connor.
complained. Cork didn't complain. It should never have been disallowed, in my opinion. Like, I don't know
Wow.
how the referee had eyes in the side of his head like that to think, oh yeah, that's definitely should have been disallowed. If I was a Drogheda fan, I'd be absolutely fuming because it seems to be a crazy, crazy, crazy decision to disallow that goal. Because Cork fans, I know they definitely feel like they've got a bit of luck, and that's kind of more like 3 points that they've kind of stolen in a sense because of what's happened. But no, Turner's Cross has proven to be a tough place for teams to go to this season, and Drogheda with the run they've been on this year. Obviously, they lost to Shamrock Rovers before the break, but they were doing so well, and they're not an easy team for anyone to face. And the fact that they went actually to Turner's Cross the other day and had like 23 shots or something it was in the end, and Cork's Manjang on is a
They
positive for
peppered the
Cork.
goal.
Yeah,
Bastard
so
the goal out of it, yeah.
which you'd never really expect with Drogheda. So no,
No.
two teams that seem to be on an upward trajectory this season. Obviously, Cork will obviously because they're coming up, but like they seem to be building on what they done last season. And Drogheda, even though they lost the game, I don't think they'll be overly worried, other than the fact that say they feel a bit robbed by the refereeing decision.
No, 100%. Sligo got a bit of red at home to the champion Shelburne. Lost 2-1. Shelburne were 2-0 cruising after 12 minutes. John Martin and Kerr McEnroe.
McEnroe it is, I think.
McEnroe. I can't even read my own handwriting here. Sorry, my laptop is my laptop's in the shit. So I'm actually look, I've got notes and I can't even read my. I should have been a doctor. But yeah, McEnroe on the 12th minute, and of course then Sligo got one back just before half time with Rhys Hutchinson. They had a goal chalked off, didn't they? And they hit the post. Sligo. They were actually very lucky in the end.
Unlucky.
Yeah, Sligo, like in the end, like they really could have got something out of that game. I mean, I thought for the first one though, Oscar Van Hattem, his back like a hospital pass, really was dreadful, wasn't it?
Oh, and then he tried to blame Conor Walsh, the goalkeeper. You could see him giving out to the keeper about it, but nah, it was a disgraceful back pass, shocking. And I think it's just a tale of Sligo over season so far, isn't it? Just not taking their chances when they got them, making sloppy mistakes at the back. Even when they're usually at home at the showgrounds, they're a very hard team to play. Which, in fairness, they did show on Friday night that they have a lot of talent in the squad, but it just hasn't clicked for whatever reason so far this year. I don't know, if I was a Sligo fan, I'd be very worried at this stage because of I think they'll end up being in a relegation battle. Could be in the fighting.
Drogheda.
They're in a title race here. So you wish
well, they dropped points the weekend. I mean, that's how it starts, Connor. Like these, they drop a couple of points there. The confidence goes.
On Sligo, I don't think because on a normal year you'd probably say you wouldn't be too worried at this year. But the thing is, the teams this year, there's no standout really weak team. There's no Dundalk of last season or UCD of the year before that you kind of thought. They're nailed on to finish last, so it's going to be a real battle until the last weekend. I think it could go all the way to the line. And imagine you will end up throwing Drogheda in that race, and you'll see. Like I don't know about because you don't know what Cork could kick on because they have the attacking players, which are Sean Maguire's and Rory Keaton's, to probably score the goals to get them out of getting relegated. But no, Sligo are a good side. They play nice football. The standard of the showgrounds doesn't help the style of play they want to play because the pitch is awful. Thankfully, it's something that's getting done in their master plan, but they want to be playing in the Premier Division when all this work's getting completed. Like
100%. And then of course, Waterford at home to St. Pat's and Podrick. I'm gonna get shot for that. Podrick Ormond with a lovely header, actually, giving the home side.
Header.
Oh, it was beautiful, wasn't it? It was gorgeous, and they absolutely battered Pats in the first. Pats couldn't get it out of their own half. They were absolutely horrendous. They murdered them in it, and I thought, God, this could be 2-3-0. But Pats somehow hung on, and then in the last minute, it was a Leahy with an own goal in the 88th minute, and then Brandon
Kavanagh.
God, my handwriting is so bad.
I think you'd know if you're a Pats fan.
Wow. Wow. Can't, wow.
I think
Yeah.
wow is it yourself for not knowing.
Wow. With a free kick at the end. How dare you? How dare you, Connor? With a free kick at the end there. The commentators are going mad about it, which is hilarious. No, very biased there, but yeah, I mean, literally smash and grab there with Pats. I mean, 1-0 down, 88 minutes gone, and then he get. I mean, that is. I tell you what, that is championship. That is title winning form right there, isn't it?
It is, in fairness. I thought Waterford actually played probably their best football so far to start the season on Friday night, and um, they'd probably walk away from Friday night wondering how they didn't even get 1 point out of the game, never mind getting zero. Like that header from Padraig Hammond was outrageous. It was some
Yeah.
header and had all the chances. They should have went 2-0 up, probably should have went even 3-0 up. And then it was a real smash and grab from St. Pat's. Obviously, second half they did kick on a wee bit, but I didn't think they'd done enough to really think, oh yeah, they should win this game. And then they got the equaliser, which was very unlucky on Dyer Leahy's behalf. And then I thought what Mason Melia done in the last couple of minutes to win that free kick, pick up the ball, showing that confidence and bravery to show why a top club like Spurs wanted him. Like still the youngest player, I think he was the youngest player on the pitch probably at that stage anyway, and picked it up and drove past a couple of men and won his free kick, which gave Brandon Kavanagh the opportunity to get the winner, and it was a good way to win a game, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely free kick as well. Couple days. They were fair too. They were like, oh, it's a great free kick, but that you could tell they were raging
because it was a stupid foul. The foul on Melia,
yeah.
it was a stupid foul, but yeah, you'd be fuming in that situation.
Yep, poor Waterford. And of course, the last game, Shamrock Rovers 0, Derry 0. McGinty the goalie sent off in the 23rd minute outside the box. And then, of course, in the 42nd, Danny Mullen, he got sent off, for a second yellow card, which, seemed a bit silly, like in the 42nd minute. And it was so funny, like the highlights were just literally those two settings off. That was it. But yeah, like a bit of a damn squib over there at the Tallaght Stadium. So
yeah, it was a weird one because I was watching that thinking the McGinty one, yeah. Absolutely ridiculous for McGinty. Even Stephen Bradley said that he has to just take accountability for that because dreadful goalkeeping from McGinty. And he hasn't really kicked on at Rovers, or he hasn't been that much of improvement to Leon Bohs last season, even though Leon Bohs made his fair share of mistakes. He had a lot of good moments as well. And McGinty, you can think of that game in Europe against Molde. He made that mistake that led to them winning on penalties. And then he had that moment the other night, which is great. Like he is a great goalie in fairness, but he has to start that well. And then I thought the Danny Mullen second yellow I thought was very harsh. I don't think that's enough to give a player a second yellow.
No.
I'd question whether if McGinty hadn't been sent off already, would he have given a second yellow for that? I'd highly doubt that. I think it's even in the odds sort of thing. And from a Derry perspective, yeah, he probably shouldn't have made that foul. But if you're a Derry fan, you'd be like a Cork or like a Drogheda fan, you'd probably be outraged that that's not a there's always should be a little bit of extra leeway for a second yellow, whether you like it or not. And I don't even know if that would have been a yellow in a normal context. Like I don't know if that was really a harsh foul or it was much of a foul anyway. Like I know what you're saying about the highlights. It is funny because they're talking about a free kick. I can't remember who took the free kick that Liam Poles made to save from. Decent save, but the type of save that he made, if you said he didn't save it, you'd be like, that's awful goalkeeping. It was kind of straightforward for a professional goalkeeper to make.
Yeah.
And it shows like they were showing that a couple of times and saying, oh, very good save by Poles, but it just didn't end up being a great game. The teams were all right. Like I thought Victor Ozenvula that came on for Rovers, the young lad, was very good but he only had a very short cameo. No, I think both teams would be happy-ish with the point. Rovers definitely because of Ed McGinty getting sent off. I think Derry would be more disappointed because of the fact that they had the man advantage and then the numbers were equaled up. But I'd say start the second half, I'd say both teams were happy enough going 10 on 10 and taking it 0-0 to finish off.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit strange. Like 2 players sent up in the first half. But yeah, that was it. That was match day 7. Of course, there were some issues as well, wasn't there, on the website? You guys were having issues trying to watch the games.
I didn't.
For me.
No,
No, that's
no,
fine.
I
Right?
know what it was. It was someone who had a geo blocked in certain countries. That people or certain games were
Ah,
geo blocked for in Ireland or something for certain games. It must have been because they were on Virgin the week before or something. So people, but they fixed it. In fairness, they fixed it as soon as
yeah.
people started complaining. Whoever had the access went on and fixed it immediately. But it's not a mistake you want to have happening even in general. But
No,
I'm sure I'm sure that's a mistake that won't happen again.
no, absolutely. And to be fair, as you said, they fixed it. It's getting better, stabilizing. It's very new. The way they're doing it is very new. So they're getting used to the technology. So it's all good. It's all good. And from what I saw, houses, stadiums look full, which is great to see. I think I saw a report there. Your man John Dodge over in Balls. I don't know. Is that his actual name, John Dodge?
No, I don't think is it John. Is it? I think it's just Doge. Is it Doge? Dodd
No, no.
Dodge.
It said on Balls like it actually has a first name on it.
Oh, that
Uh,
was just goes by Dodge because I know that's
Yeah,
his Twitter anyway.
yeah. But he was saying like the the crowds are bulging, like the matches are bulging. We need to move the stadiums, need to evolve with the crowds, which absolutely 100% agree with. So look good, some good entertainment, some good football, and we're
It
gonna
was
have a
great
look here.
entertainment, no matter what you said, because you had that moment in Cork with the referee and decision. You had the
Yeah,
two reds in Tala. You had the possible Puskas nominee with Moses Dyer, against Bohs, um, and then you had the disaster class at the back at the showgrounds. So there was madness
um,
all over the park, and you can't complain about entertainment at all.
no,
You don't get that in the Premier League with the robots that play in that league.
no, you don't. Well, says the lapsed Man United fans, you're not winning anything. Right, let's have a look at the standings. Don't you know it too? You know it too. How'd you get on tonight?
They weren't playing.
Yeah, exactly. Standings here. So top of the table, Pats. But they're joint top with Galway United. They just have superior goal differences. Third, Drogheda United on 12 points. Fourth, Shelbourne on 12. And then a bit of space opens up there. Waterford in fifth. Rovers down in sixth. Of course, they still have that game to play against Cork City. Derry City just cannot. I mean, they've won two, drawn two, lost three. They're really struggling at the moment, Derry City. And of course, Cork City below them in eighth. And Bohemians ninth on 6 points and holding up the table, propping up the table. Sligo Rovers on 4 points there, and you have to remember. Look at Drogheda United there; they're only 8 points away from that relegation zone. I'm telling you now, Conor, that is looking pretty dodgy there now. Pretty dangerous for Drogheda. They were
Only
top
three
there.
times the points that Sligo have.
They're third now, and I tell you, it's the start of a slippery slope now. You see this week, and let's have a look at who they're playing
The
this
thing is,
week.
when you look at that table, it's hard to know who will get relegated because you look at it and
Oh,
you think, oh yeah, Sligo probably, yeah. But then you look and you're like, oh, Bohs are only 2 points ahead. It's like a
well,
club like Sligo will never get relegated, and it's impossible to predict. I know people are, yeah, oh, so Sligo relegated, but like there's a relative chance Bohs could end up getting relegated at the end of the season, which would be mental to see Bohs in the first division. So no, that's all. That's my take on it.
yeah, well, they won't sack the manager anyway, will they? Because they're a lefty club.
I'm sure going to get in trouble here.
I joke, I kid. You're a very nice club boss because I know I'm going to get absolute pelters for that one from a particular listener to the show. Well. Right, let's have a look at the fixtures coming up. Of course, Friday, Bows will host Sligo Rovers, bottom of the table clash at the moment. That's live. All obviously on League of Ireland TV. Derry City host Cork City as well on the same night. Well, they're all on the same night, aren't they? Drogheda United, relegation favourites, on a bit of a downward trajectory. They're hosting Waterford United there. Galway United host Shamrock Rovers, and the big one, top of the table clash. Well, near anyway. St. Pat's host the champions, defending champion Shelbourne. There, and that will be live on Virgin Media too. So if you're in the Republic of Ireland, you have to watch that on Virgin Media too. If you're outside the Republic of Ireland, then you can watch it on the LOI TV app. don't forget, you can still get your pass. You can still get your app as well. Head over to the League of Ireland website. Okay, Conor, we're going to leave it there. We will be back. We will be live. We're going to have a couple of episodes actually this week, aren't we?
Yep.
And a new feature as well. We're going to have a midweek iBig. You think going forward, a midweek iBig.
Another great idea from yourself.
You're not the one that has to do it, you bastard. But anyway, well, I suppose you could do it now.
I did say rephrase that.
Well, that's why I work my fingers to the bone. But no, Conor will be doing the midweek iBig. So when you go wrong, I'm gonna be all over you, pal. I'm gonna be checking your homework this time. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you should be. So that will be on what day are we doing that?
That'll be out on Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Thursday tomorrow, because it'll be up tomorrow, so it'll be out tomorrow.
Yeah, it's very late. It's quite late actually. It's 1:05 in the morning as we record this. So yes, Thursday we will have a midweek iBig, and then of course we will be live. Not sure on the Sunday or the Monday. Please pay attention to the L socials, and we'll let you know on that. Just a couple of things working on in the background, and that's it, Conor. We will be back next week with another review. We're in it for the long run here on Lansdowne Roar, the voice of the fans. And of course, don't forget, don't be one of these. Don't be one of these 41%ers, right? Be one of the 59%ers. Be one of the cool kids down the back of the bus smoking. No, I shouldn't say that. Smoking's not cool. But yeah, just subscribe. Just subscribe to the channel, please. And stop watching us illegally. Right. And head over to a Facebook, Instagram, and a Twitter account. And give him a follow over on Rep Tracker. Isn't that right, Conor?
I'd like to think so.
Yes. Anyway, right, we're going to leave it there, folks. And head up to lanceroar.ie as well. We're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you towards the back end of this week. And yeah, I'm David Dunn. He's Conor McAvoy. And this is Lansdowne Roar.